talk more about this, we are connected with Lara Rizka as the Manager Knowledge and Learning from Center for Indonesia Strategic Development Initiatives, or shortened as CISDI. Good afternoon, Lara. First of all, thank you so much for your time. And Lara, the theme of the World No Tobacco Day is tobacco threat to our environment. How big the bad impact of the tobacco for our environment?
Okay, yeah, so I think if we would like to talk about the threat to our environment, we can say there are several impacts to the environment. But I believe the most visible to us is the smoke itself, yeah? Because, yeah, as we know, when people smoking, there are smokes everywhere and it's polluting the air that we should be able to breathe. So I think that's the first, visible impact. When we see the bigger picture, we also have to think about the cigarette butts because we know cigarettes contains thousands of toxic chemicals within the stick. So when the remaining part is thrown away, it also gives dangerous impact to the environment. Therefore, as I read in the Truth Initiative website, there are estimated 766,000 metric tons of cigarette butts each year making their way to the environment.
Wow.
So it's really huge. So I think this is another reason to stop smoking because you're just not being dangerous to yourself and people around you, but also the environment. We also need to talk about the e-cigarettes, which also trending right now. The cartridges of the e-cigarettes also discarded and making way to the environment, and it's actually can be break down into microplastic and chemicals which is also bad for the waterways and wildlife.
Okay, Lara, so you're in CISDI. In the organization that you're in, it is common to discuss the control of tobacco in Indonesia. So what are the efforts that Indonesia have done to control tobacco?
So if we talk about the regulation, we do have several regulations that also mentioned in the videos before, such as smoke-free zone and also limitation of promotion of cigarette products, although we still able to see it in some places and also in the internet, but we do have some kind of limitation. And also, we also have we call it price measure. So the government try to control the price of the cigarettes so it can be less affordable for the people to buy. But yeah, we still expect more from the government to control the consumption because we need a higher price. At least younger people and also poor people can get this incentive to buy the cigarette, so they might end up use the money for anything else if the cigarette is so high, right?
I think it's ironic.
Now because it's so cheap, they don't really think.
I think it's very ironic, guys.
They don't really think about buying it.
So I think it's ironic that people in Indonesia, they opt to not eating rather than not
Buying
smoking,
cigarette.
right? This is so ridiculous and this is so ironic. But the government has done multiple efforts to contain and control tobacco consumption in Indonesia. Though we all agree that it's not enough because the government has to do more. But one of the ways that the government is trying to control it is through Industri Hasil Tembakau, or IHT. This is the first time I hear about IHT, or Industri Hasil Tembakau. What is that actually, Lara, and how does it impact the control of tobacco in Indonesia?
I believe there is some misunderstanding here. I think maybe do you mean by IHT? IHT is the the tax itself, tax for HIT.
All right.
So
I think it
government
may
has-
mean
yeah.
both ways. Can you please explain about that?
Yeah, so the government has applied tobacco tax, or we call it cukai or excise, which actually used to control the price of the cigarettes. Yeah, so by giving some, I mean, by making the industry to pay more for the production of tobacco, we hope the price of the cigarette in the market is getting higher. That's how the government do it. Besides, I think there are some other regulation surrounding the industry itself, like there are some limitation of production. So there are some brackets of production that control. I mean, if you produce a certain amount of cigarette sticks each year, you will get certain amount of tax to pay. So there are some. That's how the government control the production of the cigarette from the industry.
Do you think that would be effective
Yeah.
in terms of changing, the negative impact of tobacco to a certain level?
I think tobacco control needs to be a comprehensive effort. So we cannot only expect reduce of certain amount of smokers within short period of time just because of one measure. So yeah, the excise tax is really good, but we need more than that. So we need excise tax, we need also smoke-free zone that enforce. We know we do have the law in some places, but it's not really enforced really well. So we can see some, like you said before, indoor smoking in some places is actually prohibited, but it barely has enforcement. Yeah.
So
we also need,
yeah, please continue.
We also need a prohibition of selling stick of cigarette. So if you see in foreign countries, we only able to buy a pack of cigarettes, not a single stick. But in Indonesia, we can buy a single stick. Therefore, even though the price is higher, but people can still buy one stick, and it cannot be expensive, right? So therefore, it's really
Yeah, it's
it's
like
really
making it more
we-
affordable,
yeah.
right?
Making it more accessible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
accessible,
Also,
very
We call it
accessible.
ngecer in
Ngecer.
Ngecer.
Yeah, true.
And we also agree with your opinion, more smoking-free zones.
More smoking-free
Yes,
zones.
and so
Agree.
regarding the rules and alternatives, what do you think should be implemented by government policy that haven't been applied?
Okay, so I believe there should be smaller kind of prices. So for now, we really have some kind of variation, right? There are some like a very cheap cigarettes and also pricey cigarettes. While people, when the price is higher, people can still choose the cheaper one. So if the variation is reduced, we can expect less people can afford it. So it will be more effective. That would be the first one, and the next one would be prohibiting single stick cigarette selling.
Yep.
I think that's one thing that hasn't been touched by the government. So no one haven't really tried to do it. So no one actually able to regulate it right now. So we really hope for, maybe another ministry, one ministry want to take the change to regulate it. But for now, there hasn't anyone tried to do it.
Right. This is our last question to you, Lara. So in the World No Tobacco Day, what's going to be the message from you to the audience and government?
Okay, maybe for the government there would be, we need to do more, and I think we as the organization really would like to help the government to implement stronger tobacco control policies, including the helpline for quitting tobacco. It's also being developed right now by the Ministry of Health, and for the people out there, I believe breathing no tobacco smoke every day is our rights, and I think we can always say that it's our right to breathe freely, and please we can. And for the smokers, I believe most of them really want to quit actually, but hasn't got the chance or the opportunity or the timing to stop. Maybe today is the right time to think about it and try to stop smoking.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Mbak Lara, for your time and insight. Stay safe and success for CISDI.
Thank you.